Hello, everyone. So today we're going to be continuing on the chapters for Stella Diaz Has Something to Say. We're going to be starting on chapter 7. And if we remember in chapter 6, try thinking what is it that we read in that chapter. I'm going to give you guys 5-10 seconds to think. So think, what was the last thing we read in that chapter? So if you guys remember, in the last chapter, Stella Diaz was talking about how she goes to speech class, right? To kind of help her say a lot of things that she can't say because she is bilingual, so sometimes she gets mixed up. So she goes to speech class, and at the end of the chapter 6, she feels confident in math because it doesn't take a lot to say right. So she feels really confident. She feels like that's one of her strong areas. And then she goes up against Stanley, like a kind of like a spelling bee, but like a math competition where they have a timer and they have a whistle, and they ask her the question, "What's 4 times 7?" Right? And that she thought in her head it was 28, but no matter how hard she tried, she could not say it. She said she even puffed her cheeks up, right? Like how they had told her to do in speech class, where she goes like, so she even tried that and it didn't work. So she said that she felt really ashamed, and she even says that it was like her face was roja, right? And that it was a new low for her because she couldn't even say her number. So she felt a little disappointed. So we're going to keep reading on to see what keeps going on in chapter 7. Okay? So chapter 7 reads, Nick has started basketball practice in the morning, so mom drops me off at school now. I miss walking with Nick, but I love riding in the car with Mom. She always plays salsa music. We even dance in the car a little bit before school. Que tengas un buen día, she says, passing me my backpack and kissing me on the cheek. And you have the greatest day too, I reply. She hugs me super tight before I hop out of the car. So here you could see, right, she's riding in the car with her mom, and she says that she actually likes it because they listen to music, right, and then they wish each other a great day. As I enter the school, I can still smell Mom's perfume, which makes me feel cozy and safe. It's almost like I'm wearing her fresh laundry and lavender scent, like a sophisticated grown-up. Then I notice Stanley out of the corner of my eye. Immediately, I start feeling roja. I begin to power walk towards the front door, but Stanley apparently is also a fast walker. So I do the only thing that I can think of. I run into the school office. Do you need anything, Stella? Asked Miss Green with a raised eyebrow. She's standing behind the front desk. Nothing, just wanted to say hi. I smile while peeking out of the window of the office, so she's like peeking right. She's like, no, I just wanted to say hi because she was trying to run from Stanley. And then says, oh, how sweet, good morning, she replied. She reaches into the jar. Here, take a lollipop, Stella. Thanks, I say, grabbing a cherry lollipop from her hands. I check the window again. The coast is clear. So I say goodbye. Thankfully, we start with sustained reading in class. This means I can hide from Stanley and everyone else with the book in front of my face. I'm more mortified than usual. I'm used to the rest of the class thinking I'm odd. But from the way I've been acting, Stanley must think I'm the weirdest klutz ever. I take a small break from the fishes to read another biography about Jacques Cousteau. As interested as I am, Mr. Cousteau is, and trust me, he invented the aqua lung, the portable breathing device that scuba divers use. I keep thinking about Stanley. Only a little bit. I just don't know what to say to someone who is the best at everything. He is a fast runner. He can balance a spoon on his nose at lunch. He can play the drums in music class. He's new and he has already made so many friends. She even has a little scuba diver there, that Jacques Cousteau, the one that he said that he made the aqua lung. I've been here forever, and I only have Jenny, and she's not even in my class. It's almost as if he has superpowers, magic, or if it's just really lucky. Whatever it is, I wish I could steal some, then everything would be so much easier. So she thinks of it like as a potion, like that he's so lucky that she wishes that she could take some of his. Fortunately, I don't have time to think too much because after sustained reading, we head to gym class with Coach Smith, who announces that we will be playing kickball. Boys versus girls, he says with his loud voice. His big voice matches his size. Coach Smith is the tallest person I know. In kindergarten, all I could see was his freckly knees when I was sitting crisscross applesauce style on the ground. Chop chop, he says, clapping his giant hands. The class divides up with the boys on one side and the girls on the other. The girls decide that Michelle should be the team captain. Everyone knows that she'd be the best and she plays sports outside of school. Then we decide what order to go in. Michelle says Stella's really good at running. She should go first. It's true. Every gym class we get to run laps around the gym. Coach Smith always puts on fun music to run to. When Jenny and I were in the same class, we used to sing along, which slowed us down. Now that Jenny's in a different class, I just run quickly and quietly. Turns out I can run faster than most of the girls and a couple of the boys. I nod and smile at Michelle. I find that if I at least smile, people think I'm nice. And I don't really have to talk. As the game starts, I'm excited to get up to the plate, but then I see Stanley. He's the pitcher for the boys' team. I freeze and miss the ball when Stanley throws it at me. The girls groan. Michelle yells, "Just kick, Stella!" Then Jessica Anderson shouts, "Stella stairs! Stella stairs!" Everyone else starts saying it too. After 3 misses, I sit down on the grass by myself. I wish I could find the magic words to say to make everyone stop. When we get back to class, I stay by myself and rest my head on the desk. It's almost lunchtime. At least that will be a break from this tough day. Class, before you go to lunch, Miss Bell says, standing up, I want to introduce a new ongoing project. It's on animals. You can choose any animal or favorite type of animal you want to research. Make sure it's an animal you really enjoy because we'll be working on it until the spring. I lift my head. I know exactly what I'm going to do. We can talk about it more after lunch, but here is a handout for now, she says. As she walks around to pass out the handout with details, everyone starts talking about ideas for their projects. I'm going to do bears, says Ben. You know, because of circus bears. And then see if you even see in this picture. So this is where Stella was playing, right? And she kind of froze. And then here is the bear, the circus bears. I'm doing birds, says Lauren, who smiles at me. Lauren is quiet like me. Sometimes we talk about Nancy Drew books. Jessica Anderson asks, what are you going to do, Stella? Her ponytail is swinging from side to side. I nervously reply, fishes? Makes sense, she whispers. Fishes don't talk, they just stare. I groan and cover my face. Could this day get any worse? I'm so happy to see Jenny at lunch. I'm also glad to see that she's alone and not with Anna. Thank goodness, too, because I need my best friend, especially on a day like this. So how many of you guys have felt like, where you guys have really bad days and you guys are like, I just need to talk to my really good friend or somebody you really trust. Sometimes it's your parents, right? So sometimes you just need somebody to talk to. And it says, we each bring our lunch, so we sit together right away. I tell her what happened during kickball. Jessica Anders said I never speak and that I just stare, and everybody started saying it. You talk plenty around me, Jenny says as she takes a bite of her Vietnamese sandwich. Vietnamese sandwiches are very yummy. They are made on soft French rolls with vegetables, tofu or meat, and mayo. Jenny brings me one sometimes for lunch. I know, I say, offering her a jicama stick. Jicama is sort of like a potato and a watermelon mixed together. And it isn't very sweet. We squeeze a bit of limon on it and this sweet spicy powder called picosito. Jenny grabs one and takes the world's smallest bite. Jenny likes seeing how many bites she can make in one carrot stick and other types of food. She's up to 37 in one carrot and 52 bites in one pretzel. Maybe we can write a whole list of things you can't say, Jenny suggests after she takes another tiny bite of the jicama stick. Like, I'm glad the sun is out, I say, or that is a nice outfit. My mom says everyone likes a compliment. Totally, we can work on it on the playground during our recess. I've got trusty journals, Jenny said. Jenny's journals have a big white tiger with sparkles on the cover. If she were still in my class, she would have done her animal project on tigers. Instead, her class is doing some in different countries for the long project. Of course, Jenny chose Vietnam. Jenny went to Vietnam last summer for a family reunion. She brought me back chopsticks and slippers. I promised her next time I went to Mexico, I'd bring her something special like an alebrije, which is a little sculpture of an imaginary animal. Alebrijes are simply beautiful with all different patterns and colors. So here is one of the alebrijes. Of course, it doesn't have color because the book is in black and white, but If you do see it in real life, it has a whole bunch of colors, like in the movie like Coco, right? They have a lot of levity hints. During recess, we make a whole list of things I can say until we get bored. I slumped over as I look at the list. Jenny, I don't know if this will help. It might. Jenny stands up and brings her fingers to her forehead. She has an idea. She lifts her arms into the air, spreads her fingers wide, and says, I know, you can use the power of deduction. Deduct what? I can't even say the word. There are too many letters. Deduction is something Sherlock Holmes says. Anyways, it's just asking questions. People love questions. You can ask them about their day or what they're doing. Then you'll know more about them, which means it'll be easier to talk to them. It's like your own personal game of 20 questions. Maybe sounds easier said than done. She grabs my hand. Come on, let's go to the swings. We sit in the swings and go as high as we can. Afterward, Jenny hangs upside down from the jungle gym while I just sit on top of it. Jenny is really brave and can do flips. I'm also too scared that I'll fall. She always looks like so funny with her super straight black hair hanging upside down. Come on, let's practice. Ask me questions, says Jenny as she pulls herself right side up again. I draw a blank so I can ask an easy one. Do you like cats or dogs? Stella, you know it's cats. Ask me a harder one, she says, lowering herself from the monkey bars. Presto, I have a good one. Who is Sherlock Holmes? Excellent one, Stella, she says, jumping into the balance bars. Jenny then starts telling me all about Sherlock Holmes, how he's a famous detective from a series of books, and how she recently watched part of Sherlock Holmes' movie at her cousin's house. From there, it's so easy coming up with more questions to ask Jenny, like about her cousins and what they do together. But then again, it's always easy to talk to Jenny. Even though I'm getting the hang of it, it's no mystery that what I really need is Jenny in my class. So she doesn't think it's the question. She doesn't, although she knows that she has to work on them, she's like, honestly, I just need Jenny. I need my friend back in my class. Right? So here is Sherlock Holmes 2. Here's Sherlock Holmes. Here's that liberty here. So we'll see. So she's trying to get better, right? She's trying to do this thing called deduction, which is where you ask questions, and trying to see if that'll help her, make more friends, or what kind of questions she can ask them, right? So we'll see what she says in the next chapter.